Good morning. These are your listening exercise instructions. What you're going to do is look at your lesson plan, the same one that you've been using for this class. You're going to analyze your lesson for one activity or concept in your lesson that you could develop into a listening activity. Okay? You're going to develop a listening activity for the proficiency level of your chosen student profile. Please do not write an objective. How would you make your current activity more active listening? You are planning this listening activity within the framework of your current lesson plan. This activity will include what your ELL student can do in terms of listening. This use of active listening skills needs to be beneficial not only to your ELL students, but all students in your class. So you're going to make use of the WIDA can-do descriptors for your chosen grade level. You're going to use the examples in your book to help guide you in creating your activity. Remember to review pages 138 through 145 in your textbook for listening. Okay? Incorporate at least one of those activities into your listening exercise. All right, teacher and student roles to consider. As we've been progressing through this semester, I have asked you guys to always think about your role as a teacher and what the student's role ought to be. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do in this listening exercise. All right, you'll see this figure here, types of teaching. These are the types of teaching that teachers use, and this is what we need students to do. So the teacher's role is to use these types of teaching strategies or models, and the students need to perform these roles. Take some time to read through this. Get your head thinking. Get it in your mind that teacher does, teachers do. Teachers plan, students do. All right? So what you're going to do is use this particular document that's uploaded into D2L. You're going to type your name, first and last, my name, the date, EDU 350, in the upper left-hand corner of your document. You're going to type your student's proficiency level and the original activity below from your lesson plan. Under the original activity, you're going to type your revised listening activity according to your students' profiles. English language proficiency level. Use the model provided in our course content shell to assist you. Remember to think of the teacher side of the activity or role and student role of the activity. What does the teacher do and what should the student be doing? How should he or she respond? You need to submit this assignment to the D2L Dropbox as stated in class and listed in the course syllabus. Here you will write your complete student proficiency level. Here you will type your original activity. Pick only one area of your lesson plan that would really lend itself to instructing and using active listening. Write the teacher and student roles below. What should teacher be doing and what should student be doing? Now let me show you the WIDA can-do descriptors. The WIDA can-do descriptors are broken down into several different grade level clusters: pre-K through kindergarten, 1st through 2nd, 3rd through 5th, 6th through 8th, and 9th through 12th. As you can see, the can-do descriptors are broken down into the 4 domains: listening, speaking, and on page 7 you'll see reading and writing. Across the top you will see the different proficiency levels. Essentially what can-do descriptors allow us to understand is at certain proficiency levels, this is what an ELL student can do in your class, given planning and thought by the classroom teacher. So that being said, learners, ELL learners at the entering proficiency level can point to stated pictures, words, or phrases in the content area. They can follow one-step oral directions. They can identify objects. They can match classroom oral language. Level 2 can do all of Level 1 and categorize content-based pictures. They can arrange pictures from oral information. They can follow now two-step oral directions, draw in response to oral descriptions, and evaluate oral information. Okay. Level 3 students can follow multi-step oral directions, identify illustrated main ideas, match literal meanings of oral descriptions, and sequence pictures. Notice that we're building from matching to following and arranging and sequencing. And again, English language learners can process or produce the language needed to do at these different levels. They may not understand everything you say, but if you give them the opportunity to can do what they can do, then the students can make progress and show you that they're part of the process of learning in your classroom. So what you're going to do for this particular assignment is, let me show you. This is part of an assignment a graduate student did for me last semester. Here you will notice that she typed in the complete ELL student's proficiency level, what he can do, everything. I want you to get in the habit of consistently thinking about your ELL student. How will you integrate him or incorporate him or her into your lesson that is designed for the whole class? Okay. So in her original listening activity, she wanted to discuss an artist named Henri Matisse and compare it to something called pop art like Andy Warhol and whatnot. So what she did is write the teacher and student roles below based on her can-do descriptors. All right. So, teacher will present images of Henri Matisse's artwork on the board. She's using comprehensible input, contextual supports. She's going to ask students what draws their eyes to the pieces. Well, in the case of her student, Paulo, who happens to be at the beginning level, general language related to the content area, with respect to listening, we have to go back to our can-do descriptors like this. Oh, he can categorize content based on pictures or objects from oral descriptions, arrange pictures or objects per oral information, follow two-step oral directions, draw in response to oral descriptions, and evaluate oral information. So she's asking the students, what draws your eyes to the Henri Matisse piece? So, Paulo has to evaluate oral information to essentially state an opinion. So what you're going to do is students will evaluate oral information. They will be able to identify colors, patterns, and shapes. They should respond with I see. So she's asking the students what draws their eyes to the pieces. Our students, all of them, have to evaluate this oral information. They will be able to identify colors, patterns, and shapes. They should respond with I see. If he can't respond, then she can say, If he can't respond orally, she can also incorporate parts of he can point to stated pictures, words, or phrases. So he can point to what draws his eyes to the Henry Matisse work. So they should respond with I see, or be able to point to what draws their eyes to Matisse's work. See how I incorporated both the evaluation of information, oral information. They have an option here. The students have an option. They should respond with a sentence prompt, I see, or be able to point to what draws their eyes to Matisse's work. All right. Then she comes over here and says pieces from the pop art movement will be placed next to the pieces from Henry Matisse. Ask students what is similar, what is different. Oh, now she's using the language of comparison. They will see similar techniques and colors and should respond with blank is similar to blank. They will also see different images and styles and should respond with blank is different. So let's again look at our can-do descriptors. So essentially, they're not only evaluating oral information, but now they're being asked to categorize content-based pictures or objects from oral descriptions. So I would include parts of that can-do description language into the student side of this exercise. Students will categorize content information about Matisse's artwork. All right. They will see similar techniques and colors and should respond with, they will see similar techniques and colors. Perhaps the students will have a checklist of similarities and differences. Okay? Or a checklist or organizer of similarities and differences. They will see similar techniques and colors and should respond with blank is similar to blank. They will also see differences. Blank is different than blank. So they have a chance to point to the differences and similarities using the checklist or the graphic organizer, but they also have a chance to respond orally using both listening and verbal skills here. And essentially what you're going to do, like I've shown you, is draw from the can-do descriptors certain words that enable your student to be able to show what he or she can do with respect to their proficiency level in your listening exercise. That's all you have to do. Thank you and have a great day.